I'm Pilandaedzo. I'm from Lois Richard. I'm doing final year in education, specializing with languages. I was born with the condition that we call cerebral palsy, which affected both sides of my body, which is the left side and the right side, which causes me to be in a wheelchair.
My name is Bakwena. I've been diagnosed with retinal detachment. This is a condition that I came across back in 2019. So I was not born blind. I became blind a few years back in 2019.
My disability is cerebral palsy, which you can quote from the word cerebrum, which we find through the brain. So people think like if somebody is cerebral palsy, then the problem is in the mind. I doubt if someone who's having a problem with the mind can do physics. So cerebral palsy, it affects the body parts rather than the brain. Yes, that's what I want people to learn about the cerebral palsy. Some of the stigmas that I faced is that my mother gave birth to me while she was 19 years old. So when you give birth to someone who's disabled while you are young, you're being seen like a curse. So, which means a son of a dog is a dog. So a son of a curse is a curse. So the community thought I am a curse to the community. So they never believed that something like me exists.
I am the director here at Reakgona Disability Center since 2024, January. Previously, I worked as an acting director from 2019 and as deputy director from 2023. Then 2024 I was officially appointed the director of the center to present. The Reakgona Disability Center is the center that provides various support services to students with disabilities. I'm talking about academic support, wellness support, psychosocial support. We provide assistance with funding. We provide advocacy, accessibility, and we also make sure that we facilitate accommodations. And here I'm not only talking about the residences. I'm talking about academic accommodations. Here I'm talking about, for example, a student who's visually impaired or blind. We provide them material in alternative format. Students who are mobility impaired, we make sure that they are on wheelchairs and that their pathways and ramps are ready. Students who are deaf, we provide sign language interpretations as well. But in general, or above all, we make sure that all the students are accommodated in terms of when they write assessments, formative and summative assessments.
My role as an orientation and mobility practitioner involves training visual impairment students to navigate the university safely and independently. Safe, we need to underline, they must be safe and then they should be independent. So it involves teaching them sighted guide skills, it involves teaching them cane techniques and the safety when they are moving around. The cane should protect both your shoulders, and I've even given you the example with my legs. So it should go, okay, you should be protected. Then coming to crossing the parking area, you did very, very well, but I'm not so convinced as to, did you know where you were crossing? Did you?
The challenges that I've faced so far ever since I came here, firstly, it was mobility. I didn't actually know how to move from my room to the center and also going to the shops alone. I always relied on people who were sighted.
When it comes to orientation and mobility, you cannot just see someone cannot see, come and train you. We sit down, we develop the rapport, then you ask a person how far the person is when it comes to mobility. You can go as far as asking the trainer or the practitioner who trained the person so that you communicate. You find out from a student how much does he or she knows about orientation and mobility. That's where you should start. And then you should also know the history, where the student is coming from, when the student become visually impaired, because some of them, they become blind at a later stage.
The few things that I would like people to know about my disability would be that whenever they see a blind person, it's not a crime to go and ask if the person needs help with certain things. And because at some point we do get lost, not necessarily because we don't know the way, but sometimes we might find that we have a lot of things in our minds that we kind of forget where we are sometimes, or we actually take a wrong turn or something. So the things that I would actually like them to know would be that whenever you see someone who's blind, who seems like they're lost, offer a helping hand. And every blind person, despite their nature of disability, is a human being as well. Respect them, treat them like any ordinary person, because we face a lot in the community. So that normal treatment coming from other people actually helps a lot, because it makes us feel secure and makes us also feel welcomed and accepted in the community, and also by the people who are actually surrounding us.
The requirements to be a student at the University of Limpopo with a disability: you first have to pass your matric with a bachelor. That allows you to qualify for the university admission. After you are admitted here, the center assists you with the registration processes. Afterwards, we require that you provide us with a medical report that shows the type of disability that you have. Then we are able to, from that report, we are able to assess and make a determination of the type of services that we must provide to you as an individual student, because disabilities are not the same. Two people might be blind, but you find that their needs differ. You find that someone was born blind, they were able to learn Braille from a very young age, and they are conversant in Braille and they can use a computer. But you find that someone just turned blind recently, for example, a year or 2 years ago, they are still in an infant stage. They don't know how to use those type of alternative formats like Braille, and you find that sometimes they even struggle with computer. So we make sure that we provide services that are tailor-made to the needs of the students. So giving us the medical report allows us to make such a determination.
Teaching how to cross a street, it goes back to my assessment. Remember, I spoke about assessing students. During my assessment, I'll need to also check the hearing impairment. We need to assess your hearing. Remember with the visual impairment, it's using the remaining senses, of which hearing is one of them. We need to check your hearing. If hearing is not to the point where I wanted, I'll have to refer a student to Mankweng Hospital. But if all is well, then I'll teach a student how to hear, how to position, where to position. It's very, very important, because you cannot just cross. You know, the road has a mouth. A student cannot cross at the mouth of the road. So hearing, the positioning, very, very important. And then I will also assess the speed of walking. How long does it take for the student to cross a road? So it's a lot. We dwell much into the crossing.
Another challenge that I came across so far was in terms of attending, because attending class sessions, especially online sessions, as a blind person can be a bit tricky, especially when the lecturer is displaying slides and then there are pictures. And without them knowing that there's a visually impaired person, it can be quite tricky, because the information that The lecturer will be asking questions based on, will come from those pictures, and I won't be able to discern the information from those pictures. So I had to communicate with my lecturers, ask them to clarify or explain in details if there are any pictures on the slides. Whenever he's instructing those learners to draw tables, he or she would actually have to explain in greater detail so that I could actually have my own mental image of whatever it is that is being explained. And in terms of mobility, I attended training with the Mem Mutele. She showed us how to move from the room to the bathrooms, move from the rooms to the washing line, move from the room to the water taps, then this center. And since this year I've been attending venue-based classes, she actually showed me how to go from my room to the venue-based class and from RDC to the venue-based class.
The challenges that I faced, it was not based on me itself or myself, but when I see other people who are living with disability, then some of them were not catered enough at that time. You find that some things like the jaws and the computers were limited to those maybe who are totally blind. So that's the challenge that I faced myself. The challenge that I faced, it's only pity for those who are like me.
The people that work here, they're very, 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 very easy to communicate with. Whenever you need help with certain things like training, it either be mobility, computer lessons, notes, because I use a screen reader as a blind person, but my notes, I prefer reading brailled out notes.
My work is making sure that students receive material in an accessible format. I also ensure that students are able to effectively use computers so that they are able to do their assignments. Challenges we do face as RDC, I think it goes back to what my colleague said, attitude. Attitude in my case is you find that lecturers do not understand you when you say, please send material in Word, not in PDF, because it takes time to convert. They will tell you that all work is in Word, in PDF. So they will start arguing with you instead of understanding your position and work. If we receive a material from lecturers, we have to first make sure that material is accessible. And what do? We convert that into Microsoft Word. First, we start by scanning material because it's come to us in different formats, either PDF or in hard copies. If it's in hard copies, like a book, we are going to scan first and then edit mistakes that have been made by the scanner. Then when the document is as perfect as you want it, we take it to the Braille room to convert it into text-based application called DBT, Duxbury Braille Translation. Then that application helps us to print out the document into a readable document. We use fingers to read Braille.
Designed to offer a convenient and effective way to take notes and access information.
The center's biggest challenge at the moment is funding. Money. Our students come from very poor backgrounds and they struggle for financial support. So usually we start there where we need to, for example, first year students, when they arrive, they need to have assistive devices for them to access a higher education. So we find ourselves grappling with that because NSFAS, as most of our students are funded by NSFAS, is not really delivering on time. We struggle. So we usually get our devices from NSFAS way beyond time. In the second semester, around October, November, when students have already started finish all year without the necessary devices to engage effectively with teaching and learning at the University of Limpopo. So, but this problem is not only affecting the University of Limpopo, but it's a general problem across all universities and technical and colleges, TVET colleges around the country.
When I see a student who came in not knowing anything, not knowing the campus environment, remember the university is the jungle. There are so many students, more than 20,000. Then when you are here, you are on your own. You need to know campus. When a student understands the environment, the campus environment, for me, it's an achievement. For me, it's a success. Moving from the room to Reakgona Disability Center, moving from the room to the classes, attending like any other students, to me, it's a success.
Society in general, yona, I hopefully mutabolo fadi agavaldi tokelo. Society inogopola bolo fadi alaka beneficiary ya the system. In South African context, like government system, kurar mutagolo feji, sichava se expect or usajo no benefit from the system. Akas veri di tokelo yalo, magolo fadi, pachiwa wali di benefit ofeta di tokelo. Empa, how level the constitution near South Africa, enshrine the rights to the amana all disability kakarecho. Bola section 9 yona ya equality. Ona le boba bolelang gore motho a ska discriminatiwa against kalabakalage ele mogolofadi.
I want people not to call us people with disability, but people who are differently abled. Because if me and you were about to go to the toilet now, both of us were going to arrive at the toilet, but how differently. But I was able to arrive where you arrived. That's why I want us to be called people who are differently abled, rather people with disabilities.
One of the stigmas that I've faced in my community ever since I became blind was this superstition that a lot of people had, especially when it comes to interacting with people with disability. Because before I became blind, I had almost like 8 close friends. But after I became blind, it's almost as if like they were afraid that if they become too close to me, they too will become blind. And another thing that people usually do in my community, they assume that I cannot actually do things for myself. Things like washing my own clothes, washing dishes, cooking. And one of the funniest things that one of my friends actually asked me was like, how do you take a bath given the fact that you don't see? I mean, like, how do you take a bath? How do you dress yourself? Because every time when you go out, you're always wearing nice clothes and your clothes are not dirty. So how do you do that? Do you have someone who actually bathe you or someone who actually puts those clothes on you? So those were the kinds of stigmatization that I actually faced in my community.
All of I see a beneficiary of the system. All of I be a participant in economy ya Africa in the form of employment, in the form of business opportunity. Well, encourage about what touche setšhaba goba ba thushe batho ba ba go sebele ba ba go le bogolofadi ba ba thushe ka mokgwa gore ba ba encourage gore la mathomo ba tsene sekolo la bobedi ge ba fetša go tsena sekolo ba makete ba se ka tšhaba maketa mo mang le mang a maketa go ntse kare ga o sena mmereko nako nngwe o ka pelela le go phela le ditokelo tse dingwe tšeo ka le gona di sa na lamphola bjalo re encourage society ka kakaretso wa di-communities gore as much as re batho ba ba golofetseng ba na le ditokelo le lena changeang mindset wa gore batho ba ba golofetseng ba na le ditokelo ba na le di-benefits fela.
We also work well with We've got an organization here called the Disabled Student Organization that is purely for students with disabilities. It represents the rights of students with disabilities. It represents advocates for the rights of students with disabilities on campus. So we engage with them on a regular basis because they are very close to students. That's how we get to understand their challenges. And then we are able to work on those and improve our services and make sure that everything goes well. And we are able to support our students the right way.
If you are able to see yourself standing and walking on that red carpet, I will be very glad, because it seems I will have made sure that you've read, you've studied, you've done it. I always tell the students that I am Mr. Make It Work. In other words, if I see somebody else graduating, it makes me happy, because I will have provided the material to the student to study. He will have understood the content. He will have engaged with the students, or the counter students or counterpart students. He will also have engaged with lecturers. So my role there will have been, he studied, and that's why he passes, and that's why today he graduates.
I see myself as the president of this country one day. I want to be the first one, or the first disabled person to lead while sitting at Union Building. That's what I think for the future.
My dream for the future is that, since right now I'm doing my final year in Bachelor of Education, I want to become a teacher. Later on, become a principal. Then after a few years, I want to see myself as a circuit manager, because I feel like if I have the experience of the classroom environment and also managing the school as a whole, it will be a lot easier for me to proceed and actually attend to affairs on the higher ups regarding communication with different schools.
In the future or going forward for Reakgona Disability Center, I would like to see it being included in all spheres of the university activities. I want it to be, I don't want it to be isolated, where things are done in general and after they go like, but there's also a center for students with disabilities. How about them? I want them to be included, or I want us as the center to be included from the get-go. Whenever the university is planning certain things, they must incorporate the center. That's how it has been happening. I wish for it to continue like this, whereby the center is always in the thick of things. I don't want to see a situation whereby we become like an afterthought, where people go like, but this, I want students with disabilities to feel at home in this university, to feel part of the university community without any doubts or any fear of being seen different